I'm back. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's the next thing I was gonna talk about, like the extension thing. Like, chill, man. I'm back. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, that's the next thing I was gonna talk about, like the extension thing. Like, really, another way you can see, or no, that's what I was gonna say. So like in the conscious, spiritual, whatever community, like you know what I'm talking about. Like everybody be saying reflection, and I really like that, and I say it too to certain people who can understand it a certain way. You know, like calling somebody a reflection, and like I said, I'm with that. But then it's like also the it's other like topics or buzzwords, or it's other concepts in there that's the same but almost more intense. Like, and they have good purposes, but it's like now people just doing it just because that's what's trendy, that's the culture, but they missing out on the actual purpose. Like, for example, we're saying good morning. Like the reality of it is you got words with double meanings, double entendres and stuff like that. So like saying good morning, you know you're talking about good morning as in like when the sun rising, but the other meaning of that word morning is like related to or tied to death. And then it's like that, so that's what made people, yeah, when everybody knows that, they put it out on the, you feel me, in the field for people to realize, hey, this is you saying death. You casting the words are spells, so you casting a spell about death, right? Okay, that's cool and that's all legitimate. But then if people only saying, I don't say morning just and don't know why for real, or don't fully understand why they saying it, then they decrease in the potency. You know, yeah, they might be getting less of that spell of death by saying morning, but they were unaware of it to begin with, so they weren't really getting it too much. You know, they were getting it, but by changing it without them being aware of why they changing it, it does them good only to the level that they pay attention to it. You know, so like if they just doing it because it's trendy, then it's no good. They might as well just be saying good morning. So like the purpose of it, or at least spirituality, whenever I got into it or whatever, like the things that gave me my biggest jumps were the things that came from within. Iduku idukari. The things, iduku idukari means to draw out that which is within. So the things that are drawn out from within, those were the things that gave me my biggest spiritual leaps, you know, as far as how my journey relates to that. And like something that came within as far as that morning thing is, yeah, you can stop saying morning, but something that would be more effective for people to do within that community or whatever, especially like people just starting out, because, you know, the youngest have the most potential. So like a thing that you could do is you transmute that word. You could take the transmuted version, or you could transmute that word. You could take the changed version, or you could change that word. Like, so the way I've changed it is, instead of saying morning, I say more nin, or at least that's something I'm trying to, you know, start programming my brain to be able to do and to understand subconsciously when I hear and say that word, that spell. So like instead of morning, it's more nin, and like nin relates to your aura and your ability to control your aura. That's like some I could say mystical, occult, esoteric science, just in the sense of it could be, you could look at it as it's fake or it's real, but it's best when you can actually understand what's being talked about, right? So if you know, you know. But yeah, nin is like your ability to increase, decrease, manipulate, control your aura, I believe, or nin just might be your aura itself. But either way, when I'm saying morning, I could subconsciously program that word to mean more nin, more aura control, more aura, more, you know what I'm saying? So like by doing that, that's what gives it potency. That's what gives it spirit. Spirit, my definition of spirit is thought in motion. So like by putting my own thought in motion, I put a piece of my spirit in it, right? And then that's more potent than a piece of some other dude's spirit. But if it's all good, it's all good. I'm just saying you can get the purpose of this spirituality. I don't even really like calling it that, because it's so much like so much I can't think of that word, but it's a lot of ideas and stuff attached to it. But like to make it more potent, you put yourself in it more, you know, you engage in it more, and you go deeper levels with everything, you know. And the way you go deeper levels outside is to go deeper levels inside. The way you go deeper levels inside, in a sense, is to go deeper levels outside. It's a polarity thing, and it's a I can't think of the word, but they the same basically. So like that's an example with the morning And I just realized my hand was over the speaker, so it might have, all right, whatever. But such is life, c'est la vie. So that's an example with the morning thing, but then like also with the reflection. So like an example of how I'm seeing now, or having it revealed to me now, how I can put more of my spirit into the way I address my reflections, my other presences, my other people, my loved ones, you know. I can call them extensions, you know. And I said all that, and you know, you can use extension too. The point is to choose for yourself instead of having it chose for you. Like somebody chose back in the day when we were saying morning, good morning, somebody chose that for us, you know. And then when somebody said, nah, we say grand rising now, somebody chose that for us. So I'm saying the potency comes when you choose, especially when you choose that which is righteous, that which is right, or that which is truth, or of higher vibration, higher spirit, higher mind, higher, you know. So yeah, extension. And like the reason that, well, it's multiple reasons why that became valid to me. What up, bro? That's my brother from another origin, but he say brother from another Oregon, bro. And when he said that, that really even extended, which is what I was just talking about, that extended what I was talking about, bro. Like he say brother from another Oregon, but when it was originally brother from another origin, but to say brother from another Oregon is the same thing, bro, because if we talking about physical bodies, the origin that I come through is a penis and a vagina. And then those are organs, sexual organs. So for him to come through from another origin is the same for him to come from another organ, you know? And that's the way it works because it's truth, right? When he said that it came out of a space of truth, when I said what I said, it came out of a space of truth. And that's what it is. It's like, that's how it is when you are aware of your extensions, your reflections. You are aware that every other being, all this grass, all these trees, the sun itself, the moon, the stars, the bugs, you know, every animal, all that is an extension of you. And the main reason why it's an extension of you is because of what you are. You are an extension of what I call the force source, right? The source of the force. You're an extension of that. And I have so many names for that because it has many names. But a simpler way to put that is you're an extension of God. Right? And even in the Bible, they talk about how God breathed the breath, right? We just talked about spirit is a thought in motion. So God breathed his thought and his essence into motion, into Adam, into man, into the thing, and it became a living soul, right? So he extended a piece of himself into that thing. So therefore, that living soul became an extension of the source, an extension of God. And that's what you are. That's what I am. That's what that sun is, those trees, this grass. All this is an extension of God, right? It's God in itself, and it's another polarity thing because it's the same but different, right? So to say like I love you extension, I love you reflection, those two are the same. But again, to choose one based off something you've drawn out from within, something you iduku idukari, something you draw out from within, that gives it that potency, that spiritual potency, that puts your thought, your spirit in motion onto that thing. Again, as opposed to having somebody else's onto it, which is good. But with all that spiritual stuff, the goal is to evolve, to ascend, or to devolve and descend. Some people have that journey, but we ain't talking about that. You know, the goal is to evolve and ascend, you know. So you want to go deeper. You want to go more in depth, right? Like I can go infinitely into the sky as far as conceptually goes, you know. But even the sky, the wind, the air, it's an extension because all things come from that source, right? Every force, all life, everything, that metal pole, everything comes from that source, right? And it's made of elements from that source. So it isn't the source itself, but it is of the source, and therefore it is the source, right? I'm not my father, but I am my father, because I'm not my father and my mother, but I am my father and my mother, because those are, at least my physical body, those are the like elements that created me, right? So I am them and I am not them, because I am a creation, right? So it's unique. But man, I was gonna say something. The concept that helped me understand the whole God thing to the next level was if you take a big pane of glass, right? A big old pane of glass, we all know the panes of glass. If you take that and you call that God, and then the whole glass is God, right? And then you smash that glass, that pane of glass on the ground, point to God. You get what I'm saying? It's all still God, no matter what form it's in. It's just God now in different forms. I could pick up a little piece of it and say, this is God. But that little piece isn't the whole pane. I can't do everything I could have did with the whole pane, but that little piece is the glass, is God. You know what I'm saying? So that little piece becomes an extension of God, right? So I can take that little piece and I can still do stuff with it. And I could also even draw out that which is within that little piece. I could idukare, and I can look into that piece and learn, and then have knowledge, and then have power, and then generate another variation of the original, right? Of that original glass, right? So I have power, but it's as that extension, as that little piece of glass that broke off of the big glass pane. You are still the whole, and you are not, and you cannot become, and you can become, right? So again, it goes back to what we said in the beginning about that flow of it. And with that flow, it can become, in a sense, chaotic. Like you can forget what you was just talking about, or you could lose something that you held on to, or you know, so it's a little bit chaotic. But if you stay present in the flow, it'll lead you somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So, and